Hi guys, so this is my flawless skin foundation routine. I'm just going to show you step by step how I got to this finished result. If you have any questions, just comment them down below and I will answer them as best I can. But basically, I like to keep my skin looking as natural as possible. I don't mind the look of makeup, I think it's quite pretty. So I always try my best to not make it look like it's Kate, but I don't mind if it looks like I'm wearing makeup, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind a good old highlighter and a good old contour, but obviously I want to be able to see my skin coming through the foundation and I want it to look as flawless and as natural as possible. So you'll see how I got this look, and yeah, obviously I haven't done anything else to my face, so yeah, do excuse that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I did forget to mention that I used my Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer by Napoleon. This is my favourite, as you probably already know. I think I use it in nearly every tutorial, probably every tutorial that you've ever seen. But I love this product. I don't want to part with it, but I guess I will show you guys some other products that I like from primers. But this is my absolute favourite and it probably always will be. So I use this at the very beginning of my skincare, just to let you know. So now I'm going to take a beauty blender and a foundation, and I'm just going to press this into my skin. I want this to sink into my skin really nicely, and I still want to be able to see my skin underneath. So make sure that you are stippling this on in nice pressing movements, just pressing it into the skin. So now that we have this flawless base, I'm going to add a little bit more. So this is the Autopilot Concealer Primer by Napoleon. Yeah, so I'm going to put this underneath my eyes, and then this is the Autopilot Radiance Boosting Primer as well, and now I'm going to put that on the high points of my face just to really luminize the skin, and then we're going to conceal. So this is an EcoTools brush. I'm just going to use this to apply the concealer primer. So it goes just underneath my eyes. Whoa, I just poked myself in the eye. Okay, so you can see it's already bringing a vibrancy to my skin, making my skin glow and look youthful and not Kate. Yay! Now I'm taking my boosting primer, and I'm just going to again use the same EcoTools brush, and I'm just going to apply this in the planes of my nose, down the side, center of my nose, on my cheeks, and up my cheekbone. This feels like a moisturizer. It's really thick and dewy. It's so nice. I'm just going to take some of that off my nose and put it underneath my eyes and on my top lip, chin, and I'm just going to blend that away. So now I'm taking my beauty blender and I'm just going to go straight over top of my skin, just to kind of go over that boosting primer, just to set it kind of thing, or melt it together really. So now I'm just going to take my Thin Lizzy Concealer Cream in Hoola, and I'm just going to put that on any of my imperfections. So I like to use my finger for this, but feel free to get your brush out again if you want. This is quite a thick consistency. It's meant to cover up tattoos and stuff, so yeah, it's pretty, you don't need much, not much at all. So instead of covering your skin up completely with a full coverage foundation, which I do sometimes, but this time I'm not going to, you just want to cover up any imperfections that bother you. I have a wee freckle right on my nose that I want to get rid of. I always look at it and it just bothers me so much because it's like right 3 in a row right in the center of my nose. Fantastic, fantastic. So I've covered up my imperfections, now it's just for the under eyes. My MAC concealer broke, so I put what I could in here, but pretty much I'm pretty sad. So this is my MAC concealer, MAC Pro Longwear concealer. So now I'm just going to take that same brush again and I'm just going to tap that underneath my eye and down into a triangle, and I'm just going to blend and buff that away. So you can see how that's brightened up my under eye quite quickly, and it's not overly done. I didn't put much on at all, and I've really spread it and buffed it into the skin. I'm just taking what's left of my brush, which is hardly anything, and I'm just going over the centre of my face. Okay, so now I'm going to use a MAC loose powder for underneath my eyes. This is an NC15. It's quite light, but excuse me, it's quite light, but it definitely leaves a sheer glow underneath my eyes, I think. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that. So just taking a small amount of that product, I'm just going to place it right underneath my eye. And just, again, just a little bit on the high planes of my face, so the centre. So you guys are going to laugh at me. I bought a refill thinking I had the container for it, the old one, but I don't. Anyway, this is in PurePressed base mineral foundation in Latte. Can you tell the colour? So I'm just going to press that all over my skin and then buff it in with a synthetic big brush. And now just buff that into my skin after it's been pressed on. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight the skin with my Chanel, this is my favourite at the moment, Chanel Ireelle blush in Snow. So it's not at all too glittery or anything like that. It's actually a really nice highlighting shade, and it's natural and subtle. So I'm just going to take the brush that it comes with, load up a good amount, and just place that on the high planes of my cheekbones and just over my cheeks, down my nose, lip, chin, forehead. Because it's got no shimmer in it or anything, I can put it pretty much anywhere I want. So now I'm going to contour my skin in the Revlon Nearly Naked Pressed Powder. This one is in dark, number 90 or 090, and it's got like a cool tone to it. It's not too warm, it's kind of neutral, it's really, yeah, in between, so it's not too out there, and I'm just going to kind of bronze the outside of my face and slightly contour with it too. Taking a very small amount. Just bring it over my cheeks as well. Buff that into the skin. So we've got a hollow right here in our temple. I'm just going to mock that and just put the colour deeper in there, so that this area here looks darker and then this area here looks darker. On an angle as well, like that. On an angle as well, like that. That way this whole area is going to look a lot higher and a lot more chiseled. It's going to bring this whole cheekbone right out. Does that make sense? So up in an angle like that, and obviously you want it to be blended out. So it's just added some dimension to my skin, and it's bronzed up my skin, but it doesn't look over the top at all, and that's how I kind of do my natural look. But if you really like your contour, sure, go for it. Just use more of the product. I'm just kind of blending mine out and making sure it's not too visible. So now I'm just going to take my natural Wall of Shimmer by ChiChi. This is a gorgeous shade, and it's quite similar to the Bobba Brown Shimmer Brick. So it's quite natural, like close to the Bobby Brown Shimmer Brick. If I'm mistaken, correct me below, but I'm pretty sure it's called the Shimmer Brick. Now I'm going to take this domed flat brush that's fluffy and natural hairs, and I'm just going to take a sweep. I'm just going to take a sweep of the colour, tap the excess, and then just place that right onto my cheekbone. Look at where the light naturally hits my skin, and that's where I'm going to put the highlight. Downwards, just slightly the rest over my cheeks, because I like my cheeks to glow too. And then I'm going to take my finger with a little bit of the same product and I'm just going to put that on my brow bone and connect the two. So there you go, you can kind of see my highlight. It's not over the top, but it is pretty stunning. And now I'm just going to highlight little parts of my face, like my cupid's bow. And I'm going to take a little bit from what's left on my brush and just take it up my nose just slightly. Forehead. Chin. And that's it. And then at the end of the makeup, of course, go ahead and add more if you think you need to. This is just kind of my base, and yeah. So that's my skin done.